Hey everybody, this is Jason, and welcome to the Fired Up Network. Welcome to the On the Mat Wrestling Show, and welcome back to Huge Pop Wrestling Show, guys. The referee should be in the Hall of Fame, Jimmy Corderas and Donnie Da Silva. Yes, you keep on laughing. I'm going to make you into the Hall of Fame. Me, I'm going to put you in the Hall of Fame, all right? In fact, I'll honor you as the first member of the Fired Up Network Hall of Fame. And, all right, so on Sunday night, we got Evolution 2 a couple years ago. They had Evolution 1. And this was, if this card is not thrown together in the last minute, I don't know what is, okay? Let's start off with the WWE Women's Tag Team title matches. Roxanne Perez, Raquel Rodriguez, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, the Kabuki Warriors, and Zarya and Sol Ruka. I'll start off with Jimmy in this one. Who do you like?
None of them. I mean, this is just.
Yeah, let's move on to the next one.
I'm just teasing, but I'm looking at this, and I look at the team of Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Talk about thrown together without any rhyme or reason. That's the epitome of that. I do like the team of Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. Now, adding Sol Ruka and Zarya to this mix. I get it. You want to bring up and have an NXT presence on the thing. I don't know. I should have left it as a three-way and just left them off and put the Kabuki Warriors in. And that would have made it less of a cluster. But, hey, I just have a bad feeling that the reunited Kabuki Warriors of Asuka and Kairi Sane are going to emerge here for that feel-good moment.
You know what I would have loved here, Jim? And again, we've already talked about this whole show is so thrown together, but rather than having this thing that's sort of amalgamated over the course of, 45 seconds of promos in 2 weeks between Charlotte and Alexa, I would have loved if this last spot went to a TNA tag team.
Oh, yes.
Whether it was the Elegance Girls who, let's face it, they're not very good in ring. Or if you used, whatever. Like, you could even do a thrown together team from TNA, Masha and somebody, or Tessa Blanchard and somebody.
Right.
I don't know. I just think then you get some representation from all, then it feels like a celebration of women's wrestling. Do you know what I'm saying? You got a Raw team, a SmackDown team, an NXT team, and a TNA team. That would be cool. This is just whatever. I don't see any reason for Raquel and Roxanne to lose these titles. Roxanne hasn't even yet defended the title that she was handed. So I think that, and I do agree with Jimmy. I like them as a team, maybe even more so than I like Raquel and Liv. And I think part of that is because I like Liv so much on her own.
Right.
I think she's such a strong solo act. I think there are a lot of people out there thinking Asuka and Kairi Sane win this because Asuka is still on her comeback trail and putting the Kabuki Warriors back together again. That's a big story, but they don't need to win this, man. Here's the funny thing. If the NXT team wins, Sol Ruka now has 3 titles simultaneously.
Yep. Well, what about the other team that they threw together and they said, Alexa says, well, thank you. You're going to win the title, Charlotte and Alexa.
I mean, they could win. There's a story there. There's a story there where Charlotte and Alexa could win. And they decide to do this odd couple, we hate each other, but we have to coexist story. Like Stone Cold and Mankind. They could do that. I don't think they've ever done that in WWE in the women's division. It's happened a few times on the men's side. I don't think it's ever happened on the women's side. It could happen. And that could set up a program with Judgment Day, and that could set up Liv Morgan returning and screaming at Raquel like, you lost my belt. If there's going to be a title switch, I think it will be the thrown together team of Charlotte and Alexa. That's the only thing I can possibly see.
The other thing I forgot to mention too is if you look, go back to Monday Night Raw, and if you checked out the Judgment Day clubhouse area, the way they had all the titles set up on that table,
Pretty cool.
With both tag team championships, two of them hanging in the background, a couple of them on the table with Dom's IC title. That was a cool visual. I don't want to see that change yet. I'd like them to run with that for a little longer.
Yeah.
All right.
It's cool visual.
WWE Women's Intercontinental Title bout: Becky Lynch, Bayley, Laura Valkyria. Jimmy, go ahead.
I'm looking at this one. What I'd like to see, I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of a Bayley resurgence, but at the same time, why you got to give me a reason why, other than she's. I almost want to see Bayley go off the rails and her and Becky kind of start getting back together. And we talked about this, Donnie, where you want a women's faction that is dominant.
Yeah.
So imagine Becky, Bayley kind of join forces, add Charlotte to the mix. Yeah. And if you're going to bring one other in there, pick one.
Well, Sasha's busy.
Sasha's busy, so you can't pick her. But
I don't think you even need a fourth. I don't think you'd need a fourth. I think those three together, if they were a faction, I said this on Huge Pop. To me, that's like the women's version of the Outsiders. I think that's a powerhouse trio. That does go against my potential thought in the tag match of the Odd Couple winning the tag titles. But I would love to see Lyra win this, and then Becky and Bayley find a way to bury the hatchet and come together. Maybe not even because they want tag titles. They're just going to have each other's backs and run through everybody. I kind of dig that. There's a feel-good element here where you go, oh, it'd be kind of nice for Bayley to win a title. It's been a minute for her. I don't know. Normally, when your Intercontinental Champion is a big star, you don't expect her to lose the title after only a couple of defenses. But I could see Becky losing, and it doesn't affect her one bit.
Right.
All right. NXT Women's Championship bout: JC Jane against Jordan Grace. Let's go, Donnie first.
I'm thinking now. There's some interesting elements here because the winner of this faces Masha Slamovich at Slammiversary.
Yep.
We've seen Jordan Grace versus Masha Slamovich many, many times. So could it be a situation where we want to spark that up one more time? Maybe. Could it be that we're going to get a fresh matchup with JC Jane versus Masha Slamovich? Maybe. My call here is, I think JC Jane is the Iron Sheik. What do I mean by that? I think JC Jane is a transitional champion, and she has done her job, and she has transitioned from Stephanie Vaquer over to Jordan Grace. I think she's done her spot. I think she surprised everyone with that win. She made a little bit of a name for herself, going from relative obscurity in NXT to becoming the women's champion and beating the previously undefeated Stephanie Vaquer. Jordan Grace is a star. And at some point, you have to start treating her like one and booking her like one. So I think Jordan Grace, even though it's not the match I'd like to see at Slammiversary against Masha, because we've seen it so many times, I think there would be a massive ovation at Slammiversary for Jordan coming home. Right? TNA is her original television home.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would be probably a good business decision on a few different levels. So I'm going to go with title change.
And there's got to be a title change on the card, right? So
it doesn't have to be.
Doesn't have to be, but if you're going to pick one,
it's a spot show,
right? This is if you're going to pick one, this is basically the one you'd probably do it at, other than Lyra Valkyria, but. JC Jane, I'm looking at the lineup right now. JC Jane with Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix in her corner. She's got a lot of backup, which seems to be the trend now for champions to get help to overcome things. But I don't know. I like the idea of maybe Jordan Grace, but I would feel bad if JC Jane is the Ivan Koloff of this generation, but
That's a better reference than mine.
It's
a better reference.
I don't know. I'm torn in this one. I'd like to see JC Jane continue, but I also like the idea of Jordan Grace and Masha Slamovich on Slammiversary. I think that would be a hell of a match. You talk about someone who's in NXT crossing over to TNA, who is an original TNA women's champion. I mean, there's a lot of potential there. I mean, Jimmy, interestingly enough, Blake Monroe, the big hot free agent signing on NXT, is not on this card. I don't know if she's getting thrown into the Battle Royal or not, but she's not on this card. So will she come out when all of JC Jane's backup tries to interfere, and will she be the one to run them off and allow Jordan Grace to finish the deal? Maybe. There's people out there that are thinking that Blake Monroe's already going to turn heel and turn on Jordan Grace. I don't see that happening this soon. But I don't know. Again, flip a freaking coin. I think the business decision is Jordan should win.
All right, you mentioned the Battle Royal. We don't know how many people are going to be.
100. It's 100 girl battle.
All right, then who's going to win?
Not us.
They should talk to you. Stuff from Superkick should be winning it.
Fine, put Taylor Rising in there. She'll kick all their asses.
See, there you go. She's been rising in that super. Anyways, who's your pick for the Battle Royal? Even though we don't know 150 people,
I guess Nikki Bella. Because
that's who you know.
No, well, there's Selena Vega, there's Tatum Paxley, Stephanie Vaquer, Maxine Dupree is in there. I think Natalia's in there. Nia Jax, Lash Legend is in it. Kalani's in it. Ivy Nile, Julia, Candice is in there. Izzy Dane is in there. Maxine's in there. Jada Parker's in there. I'm trying to think who else I remember hearing was in there, but there's a lot of names that are in there. But Nikki Bella, they brought her back. They made this big thing about bringing her back. They kind of wanted to build Evolution around her. Initially, they were going to have Nikki Bella versus Liv Morgan, and then Liv went and got injured. So the next thing they decided to do was put her into this. If you believe the whispers out there, Nikki, for the last few months, has been training hard with Natalia at her school. And Nikki is insistent on having another run, not just showing up for Evolution. She wants a run. And she wants to show people that she's better than people think, or at least she's better now than people remember.
Right.
And from what I've heard through the grapevine and what I've seen online of Nikki's training sessions, she looks half decent. So, I'm sure there's a part of her that gets sick and tired of hearing how her and her sister are the most undeserving WWE Hall of Famers of all time, and they never should have gotten in, and blah, 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 blah. Whatever. I mean, that's all nonsense to me. But I have this weird feeling that she could win. And yes, a lot of people are thinking it's going to be Stephanie Vaquer or Nia Jax, but it's a friggin' battle royal. Nobody loses face by losing a battle royal.
Right.
You get 6 girls.
The Battle Royal gets a chance at Clash at the Castle in Paris for the title.
Then I think it makes all the sense in the world to make it Nikki. If the intention is to have a run with Nikki, then that's the way you do it. Yeah. Stephanie doesn't need that right now. She just doesn't. And Nia Jax can get a title match with whoever at any given moment because she's that over. So if you want to bring someone out of nowhere to get a title match and you want it to be a friggin' star, I think wrestling fans underestimate how much Nikki Bella has become a star outside of wrestling. She is transcended with all the reality TV crap that she's done and all the game shows and whatever. She has a name in Hollywood. She has cachet. Obviously not Dwayne Johnson level cachet, but she has cachet. She has celebrity. So there's value to using Nicole. To me, that's the only decision that really makes sense. But whatever, flip a coin. There's 55 people in this match.
Jimmy?
I'm gonna continue off Donnie's thought that Nikki Bella wins this, and I'm gonna tie it. I'm gonna do your job a little bit, Joe, and tie it into another match, which is the WWE Women's Championship match. Now, obviously, Tiffany Stratton is facing Hall of Famer Trish Stratus in that match. Now, if Nikki Bella were to win and get that championship title match, now she's facing another Hall of Famer. So I'm predicting that Tiffany gets by Trish, retains the title, moving the story forward. Tiffany now and Nikki Bella have a match at Clash in Paris. And there you go. She's facing Hall of Famers. And if you're trying to elevate Tiffy, who needs some help right now, because sorry, right now it's not Tiffy time for me. So she needs to work a little bit. So if she can get by 2 Hall of Famers, maybe that would help elevate her.
Yeah, because right now, Tiffany, when she comes out, it's toilet time for me. But I just think that this, Jimmy, and we can transition to that match, Joe, the Tiffany and Trish match. But your statement right there is a very well articulated one. If they set up to have Tiffy go by Trish and then work with Nikki, this just cements the fact to me that, and then we're looking at SummerSlam, she's lined up to face Jade. This just cements the fact to me that Tiffy Stratton should be a heel. Okay?
Right.
And she keeps working super over baby faces, and she herself doesn't have a clue how to be a baby face.
This guy was on his game today, man. He's on his game today.
She is like a newborn deer on ice skates. She's lost when it comes to being a baby face. Not a clue. So enough with that. I don't care that people pop for the friggin' moonsault. Okay? Stop doing the moonsault. Like, just use some brass knuckles or something. Pull them out of your bra and punch someone in the face. I don't care. But enough. She's not a baby face.
No.
Stop insulting me.
All right, let's get to the main event. I think it's the main event. Women's World Title match. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley. Jimmy, we'll start off with you.
See, this is a tough one. You talk about, we've said it how many times, and it applies so much here that does someone need a title? Does someone need a victory? Rhea Ripley does not need any of that. Rhea Ripley is a superstar in the women's division. Io Sky gets a very good reaction. The crowd likes her, but she, in my opinion, she is someone who benefits from holding that championship, and it helps her more get over with the crowd than if she didn't have it. Whereas Rhea Ripley wouldn't be any more over if she was champion or not. So for her to have it makes no difference for her. I think Io needs it more, and she will get by and get the old traditional respect from Rhea afterwards.
Okay, Don.
Part of me agrees exactly with what Jimmy's saying. I don't think Rhea Ripley needs to. She, to me, is in that category of Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton, right? She could lose every match, and she's still a force every time she's announced as being in the match. She's still credible no matter what. That being said, it feels like the story of this match has heavily been advertised as Rhea has never beaten Io. That seems to be the thing they keep hammering over and over and over again. And Rhea has beaten everybody. She's beaten everybody. But she's never beaten Io. So because that's the message they keep pumping, it kind of feels heavy-handed to me that they're planning to have Rhea go over. If that's the case, from a business perspective, I understand if you want your biggest women's star featured with the title going into SummerSlam. I get that. if that's the direction you want to go. Io has really gained a lot of momentum over the last 6 months, and I think she's become a huge fan favorite. And my question is, if you take the title off her, what the hell do you do with her now? Like, I don't have a clue what you do with her. Maybe that all changes after the draft. You reshuffle the deck. I don't know, but I would be inclined to say Io retains, except for the fact that they keep hammering on this issue that Rhea has never beaten her. I don't think we're going to see some kind of schmaz or indecisive, inconclusive finish that leads to a rematch, because we already have other contenders lining up. So I have a feeling that they make the change here.
All right, that's Evolution this Sunday, 7 p.m. Jimmy, it looks like he had some difficulties. He disagreed with that, what you said about Rhea Ripley, but Donnie, tell everybody about Huge Pop and give Jimmy's social media, and hopefully we'll get him on for the last show.
Huge Pop Radio. You can find us on hugepopradio.com. We're also available on the Fired Up Network, and we are available on every single major podcast provider. We have amazing interviews each and every week with someone in the professional wrestling world. This week, right now, we have a in-person face-to-face interview with our pal Al Snow. Next week, we'll be doing our preview of Slammiversary for TNA, and our guest will be former TNA World Champion, current TNA Tag Team Champion, former WWE World Champion, once known as Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth. And that is going to be an absolute banger of a discussion. I'm sure everyone is going to enjoy it. And Jimmy, you can find him on Instagram. You can find him at Real Jimmy Corderas. And he's on Twitter too. I'm not on Twitter. I don't know, X. Just look up Jimmy Corderas. Yeah. You'll find him there too.
And don't forget, with all the wrestling this weekend, TNA has their biggest pay-per-view next week, and we'll talk about that, Slammiversary. Thanks a lot, Donnie.
All right.
Okay, hold on. Change this.